Welcome to Civil Service Achievers Point to everyone, those who have joined the live session. If you can hear my voice, please do comment in the comment box if my voice is clear enough for you to understand and it is audible enough for you to hear. Okay, Triparna, thank you. Thank you, Devabrat. I'll be waiting for 1 minute or so that some of the students can join in, and then we'll be starting with the session. In the meanwhile, let me introduce our institute to all of you. We at CSAP, that is Civil Service Achievers Point, which was established in 2018, have around 6 centers in the offline mode and 2 centers in the online mode. We have conducted various seminars of around more than hundreds of seminars in the last 3 years to 5,000 students we have delivered with huge positive response. And in the last APSC declared results, we have around 34 students who have successfully cracked, in which we have 5 of our faculty members who had also cracked APSC. You can go through some of the pictures we have shared. Around 112 had cleared prelims in the last 2018 conducted. These are some of our felicitation program held of the 2016 APSC declared result in 2018. These are some of the classrooms of us at Barwari Center, which is the head office of this institute, then at Beltola, Survey, Guwahati, Silchar, Tinsukia, and we have some collaborations with Cotton University, Sonapur College. And we have conducted a lot of projects for the economic upliftment of various students coming from economically poor background. Some of the pictures I have shared, you can check it out. Recently, we got collaborated with Royal Global University just before the pandemic started, the second wave. And these are some of the pictures of our seminars conducted across various districts of Assam. You can also check our app, that is CSAP, which is available both in Play Store as well as Android and Apple, where we have some exciting courses for all of you, where you can find more than 500 hours of video lectures for both prelims as well as mains for upcoming APSC and UPSC. At the same time, you can also find test series along with smart books, that is the study materials of CSAPs, very exhaustively covered, along with all the basic sources like NCERTs and standard reference books. You can also get last 25 years questions solved for prelims, along with daily current affairs of Assam Tribune and The Hindu. At the same time, we also provide you the mains answer writing PDFs on a weekly basis. Here are some of the details of the study materials. You can pause the video and go through it. At the same time, these are some of the mock tests which you can check. Along with that, these are the video lectures. We have also the courses for ethics, internal security, governance, which are going on for the mains. We'll be uploading many more video lectures for all the subjects or all the papers. A small announcement that we, on 27th of this month, in collaboration with Janothan Trust, we have a Topper Stock series where Himadri Bora will be talking about her experience of cracking APSC and how to stay motivated during this pandemic time period. Do share this good word with all your friends and your relatives, those who are preparing for civil services. And on that particular day, we are also launching a scholarship test where you can get all the courses present in our app in a way exciting prices of discounted prices. With if you can perform well, and even if you participate in the scholarship, you can still get 10% discount in all our courses. We also have some optional classes and batches for anthropology, pol science, sociology going on. You can check some of the video lectures, demo lectures in the app and the YouTube channel. You can also purchase printed study materials for the following optional subjects, all the optional subjects that are mentioned in the screen. If you want any other details, you can contact the given numbers in the screen. And also you can join the free WhatsApp group where you can get daily current affairs of free current affairs notes along with daily current affairs, answer writing PDFs on a weekly basis. You can also get the link of our application, and you can download and check our content there. Do subscribe the YouTube channel and press the notification bell for all the future notifications. Thank you. And let us now move ahead with today's class, which is a very, very special one, and it is going to be one of the very important topic that we'll be discussing in the recent times. That is the India Yearbook, which is a very, very important one. First, let me tell you in brief about what is the idea behind studying this India Yearbook 2021. All right, and why we need to cover this, what are the benefits of covering this book, and how to cover this book. As you know that there are around 30 chapters in the content list of this book, recently published by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. We are not going to cover up any gist published by many websites, but we'll directly cover from the book. Why? Because there is a benefit. Because when you read the content of this book, I request everyone to at least read the first page and the last page of each chapter. Okay, why? Because if you see defense, if you see education, if you see energy, environment, finance, corporate affairs, food, civil supplies, consumer affairs, or maybe communication, commerce, economy, agriculture, culture, tourism, polity, okay, land and people is the geography, national symbols, India and the world, housing, urban affairs, health and family welfare, industry, law and justice, labor, skill development, employment, mass communication, planning, rural development, scientific and technological developments, transport, water resources, welfare, youth affairs, sports, states, union territories, all these 30 topics are a part of your syllabus. You have a subtopic in your syllabus. Whatever question, suppose a question comes on industry, you can easily pick up the paragraph what is written here as your introductory line or your content in your mains answer. Why I ask you to read this? Because this is written in a pure administrative language. It is published by the Ministry of Central Government of Information and Broadcasting, and the language of this book is very much well versed with the language of government as well as the language of an administrative, from an administrative perspective. So if any one of you who is not very well to do with answer writing, you can always read government sources to pick up the keywords as well as the language or the tone of writing, okay, which you even find in many of the newspapers editorials like the Hindu or the Indian Express. Okay, there also you can find similar pattern of structured articles on various other, for example, yesterday in Indian Express there was a very beautiful article on women and vaccination. Okay, how there is a discrimination or how even the women are facing a problem as compared to male, okay, in terms of vaccination. So this type of 2-3 days back there was a beautiful article that why this year the monsoon was delayed in Indian Express editorial. And that is why it is always important to read some good sources. Only when you read by your own you can develop the content on your own. Okay, and this is very essential. If you are facing difficulty in developing content for your answers, you can always go through this kind of books or some publications or magazines like Yojana, Kurukshetra, which also helps you in developing your answers for mains. Okay, so basically when we start with chapter 1, the land and the people, okay, we won't be covering all the chapters of this book, okay, but I promise you that we'll bring up all the important topics, okay, from this book. And this book is very, very important for both mains as well as for prelims, because in prelims also you will get at least 5 questions minimum. If you are preparing for UPSC, you can expect minimum 5 to 6 questions from this book. Even in APSC you can expect 2 to 3 questions in your prelims. But if you're preparing only for APSC, the biggest advantage for you after covering this course will be in your mains. Okay, in your mains it will definitely help you with your content development. And I'll be also telling you in great details about how to develop your answer writing and how to use this content, okay, throughout this book or throughout this course. And we will be covering almost around 30 lecture series, okay, within this course of India Yearbook in within next 2 months of time period, and which will definitely, it's going to help you a lot. And at the same time, if you have this PDF or if you have the book, if you have purchased this book, please try to keep it with you during this video lecture itself, or if not, please keep your pen and papers ready so that you can keep on noting down the points that I'll be telling you right throughout the class so that you don't waste up time again after the end of this class to repeat it, but you can directly go for revision after the class is over. But I'll tell you that revision is very, very important. Okay, without revision, it will be difficult for you to use this content or replicate this content in your exam. So let's begin. I hope you all are with me and everything is going fine. Okay, you can see the screen and you are able to hear the voice. Okay, I'll keep it short, not very long, maybe of a 1 hour class. But today's target is to complete the first two chapters of this book. All right. Ed, thank you, Raki. Thank you, everyone, for commenting in the comment box and letting me know that everything is going fine. All right. So, okay, Sanjukta, Dimpi, Anushika, Rishika, Rupam, Jagriti, Samson, Krishnavani, everyone has commented. Thank you, everyone, for commenting and letting me know. So, I'll try to keep it short for 1 hour class from now. And today's target will be to complete the first two chapters of this book, The Land and the People. And the second one is the national symbols, and the national symbols, it will be basically important for your upcoming prelims exam. So see, each and every line we will try to follow it up. Okay, along with that, I'll be also telling you the important points to mark it out, or you can also jot down your points in your hand, in your notes copy. Okay, but try to maintain a separate copy for this book. So India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace, okay, of human speech. Okay, so you see this, so this, that is why I am telling you to follow this kind of books, because this kind of statements, when you write in your answers, you get very good marks. Trust me on this, you'll get very good marks on essay, or whether if you use it even for GS, for art and culture, or whatever, wherever you find it relevant. Okay, so India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech. All right, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great grandmother of tradition. See how beautiful this line is. I hope you get it now. The import. If you have not read this book earlier, trust me, after completion of this course, I'll be taking around 30 lectures for this book. Okay. Minimum there will be 30, maximum I can't say as of now, there can be 40 also. But after going through this, if you can replicate this content, trust me on it, like you will at least get 20-30 marks more in your mains, just because you have read this book. Okay, and after this I'm planning to come up with the economic survey. Okay, we have the economic survey with us, and I also want you to, not because, see, these books may not, you may not find direct questions in exam, but obviously you will find direct questions, obviously. But if you compare with लक्ष्मीकांत से आपको 15 क्वेश्चन डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन मिल सकता है, ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स में. लेकिन from this book you can maybe get 2-3 questions or maximum 5 questions directly. Okay, but the benefit is much more than this in the mains, because of the language and because of the content. Okay, these government publications are very, very important if you want to crack this exam within this attempt or within your next attempt, whichever you are giving. All right, so this kind of statements, when you read, it enters in your mind and it will be replicated. Do not worry, you have some trust on yourself, you have trust on your brain and your capacity of memory. Okay, so India is the cradle of human race. Okay, birthplace of human speech, mother of history, grandmother of legend, and great grandmother of tradition. So if there is an essay on like on our civilization, on our tradition, on culture, or if even in GS1, okay, we have art and culture, we have Indian society, you can easily write this kind of statements and start your answer. You will definitely get 2 marks extra in that answer. Okay, so our most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only, and this was said by Mark Twain. Okay, you can quote this kind of things. And I'll tell you one thing now, that you have the syllabus of mains, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'll tell you one thing, how to score again 20 marks more. I request everyone to prepare one quote at least for each and every subtopic of all the papers of GS syllabus for mains. Okay, for if there is education, if there is health, you search a beautiful quote and you keep it ready from now itself. Okay, because whatever the questions will come, or essay, or in or questions in GS, it will definitely come from all the subtopics, whatever is there in your syllabus. So if you have a quote ready, even if you write an essay, you will have at least 50 quotes ready, and you can very beautifully start, and you will definitely get some good marks. India is a unique culture and is one of the oldest and greatest civilizations of the world. It stretches from the snow-capped Himalayas. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right. So India is having a what unique culture that we know, and also it's one of the oldest and the greatest civilizations of the world. Why do we say that the Western culture is the best culture? Okay. In fact, when we will know our Indian culture about the richness and its heritage, you will see that in fact it is much better than the Western culture. It stretches from the snow-capped Himalayas in the north, so we should know our boundary. On the north, we have the snow-capped Himalayas, right, and in the north to the sun-drenched coastal villages of the south. Okay, so it is the sun-drenched coastal villages of the south and the humid tropical forest. So see how beautifully it has been described of a country. We have humid tropical forest. These things you can be comfortable when we look at the geography. Okay, and also on the southwest coast. Okay, that is the humid tropical forest on the southwest coast. It normally means it is talking about the Western Ghats. Okay, it is normally talking of the Western Ghats and the fertile Brahmaputra Valley on its east to the Thar Desert in the west. Okay, so how beautifully India has been described in just 3-4 lines. It covers an area of. In fact, this is important for your prelims. In fact, in APSC, you should know the total area of Assam. Can anyone comment the total area of Assam in the comment box? Because that has already come in the exam. Okay, and this is the total area of India. That is 32,87,263 square kilometer. Okay, if you know the total area of Assam, please write in the comment section. It has achieved all-round socio-economic progress during the last so many years of its independence. So we have achieved, yes, 78438. Very good, Susmita. 78438 square kilometer, and it has already come in asked in the APSC exam. So please try to keep a note of these facts and figures. All right, it can directly. Okay, Rupam, you're right. Anushika, you're right. Partha, you're right. Rishika, everyone is right. Okay, Rakhi, you're right. So very good, you know it. And Sangrila, 78438 is correct. Okay, thank you everyone. Sahira, it's correct. So Kakul, it's correct. Santana, it's correct. Okay, so what we are trying to I'm trying to tell you is that you have to keep a note of some of the parts, figures and facts. All right, so it has achieved. So India has achieved all-round socio-economic progress during the last so many years of its independence. Now there can be some question, for example, about the socio-economic progress of India. To ask, it might ask you to comment critically. Okay, so you can pick up this kind of lines that critically you don't have to write the negatives only. Okay, Biplab, you are also right. You don't have to write the negative only. Okay, you also need to show the positive aspects. And UPSC or APSC, civil service always demands a positive or a optimistic conclusion from you always. Okay, so you can always use the positive aspects to write your conclusion statements in your answers or in your essay. The country stands apart from the rest of Asia, marked off as it by mountains in the sea. We have all the mountains in the sea, which give it a distinct geographical entity. Okay, we have the Great Himalayas in the north, stretched southwards, and Tropic of Cancer tapers off into the Indian Ocean between Bay of Bengal on the east and Arabian Sea on the west. So see, this is how you also can write. Okay, you can also write your answers, this kind of statement. So you feel good when you read this kind of books. Okay, so we have the Tropic of Cancer, right, but it tapers off into the Indian Ocean between, you see here, between Bay of Bengal on the east and Arabian Sea on the west. Okay, and we all know this, but we don't think that we can also write like this. Okay, so when you'll be reading this kind of sources, your content will definitely get enhanced. There's no doubt about it. All right, then we also have the longitudes and the Renubala, you were also right. We also have the longitudes and the latitudes. In APS you can even expect this question to be asked. Okay, that is, we have the latitudes between 8 degree 4 inch to 37 degree 6 north. Okay, and longitude is 68.7 to 97.25 east. Okay, why east? Can you tell me? Because it is on the eastern hemisphere as compared to the prime meridian. All right, or it is to the northern hemisphere as compared to the equator. Okay, so it is the north. So this is the southernmost boundary, and this is the northernmost boundary, and you can say that this is the westernmost boundary, and this is the easternmost boundary of a country. Okay, so after that, if you see that it measures around 3214 kilometer. In fact, this is also very important. It can be asked in the exam, in the prelims. The total distance from north to south, okay, from north to south is 3204 kilometer extension of a country, and from east to west it is 2933 kilometer. This is very important figures. You should definitely keep a note of all this. Okay, and it has a land frontier of about 15,200 kilometer. What do you understand by land frontier? It means, land frontier means the boundary. Okay, in form of the land, but we also have a lot of coastline. Okay, where we do not share any boundary with any neighboring countries. Okay, now coastlines of the mainland. Okay, the total coastline of mainland along with Lakshadweep and Andaman is around 75166 16.6 kilometer. All right, so you need to know that the land boundary is almost double that of our coastline. Okay, so and if I ask you, for example, okay, if I ask you the geographical background, okay, the countries having a common border, what are the countries that India is sharing the border? Afghanistan, Pakistan in the northwest, right? Then China, Bhutan, Nepal in the north. Okay, Myanmar to the far east, Bangladesh to the east, and Sri Lanka separated from India by a narrow channel. Okay, now these are our neighboring countries, and Sri Lanka is separated by from India. You know, it is by a Pak Strait, and it is also known as the Gulf of Mannar. All right, so this also becomes very important that Sri Lanka is separated from India by Pak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, and a country can be divided into 6 zones. Okay, mainly the North Zone, South Zone, East Zone, West Zone, Central Zone, and Northeast Zone, where we live. All right, it has 28 states and 8 union territories. Please be very specific. We had 29 states, but now I think you all are aware about this. Let me tell you that though we had 29 states, okay, just till recent times we had 29 states and 7 union territories, but now we have 28 and 8 union territories. All right, so but we know that from 29, JNK JNK statehood was removed, okay, after revoking of Article 370. Okay, 370, that is having the special provisions in the Indian Constitution. In fact, in 371 also, in 371 article, there are various special provisions, in fact, for all the states of Northeast India, okay, along with some other states. Now here, when 370 was revoked, okay, like JNK was the JNK state was removed, so 21 minus 1 will be your 28. But there were 2 union territories added, right? Jammu and Ladakh region. Okay, then it should have been 9. Can anyone tell me why it is not 9? Why it is 8? Is there a printing mistake, or it is actually 8 now? Okay, can you tell me why it is 8 as of now? Because 7 plus 2 should have been 9, but in this book, and it cannot be wrong, it is a government publication. All right, so we have 8 union territories and 28 states. Can you tell me why there are 8 instead of 9? If you know, please comment in the comment box. Okay, now in when we are talking about this boundary nations, okay, so yes, very good, Rupam and Madhurja. Dadra and Nagar Haveli, okay, and Daman and Diu, they both, no, they, it was not separated. Okay, one UT has been abolished, and that is your Dadra and Nagar and Daman and Diu both got merged, and now it is a single union territory. Earlier it was two. Okay, very good, Sanamoni. So both are now together, and that is why 7 plus 9 minus 1 will give you 8. Okay, so that is why we have 28 states, and in fact this can be also asked in the exam. So when I'm asking you that we have these boundaries, okay, we have these boundaries. Very good, everyone, those who are answering. Tell me the arrange these boundaries, okay, from increasing to decreasing order in terms of length. Okay, in terms of length, even this question can be asked that which country is sharing the largest boundary with India, that is a land border. Okay, so if you have to know this order, first of all, it that comes, okay, it's your Bangladesh. Okay, it is your Bangladesh which is sharing the largest border with India. Then it is your China. Okay, then it is your Pakistan. Okay, it is your Pakistan. Then you have Nepal. All right, then you have Nepal, and after that it is your Myanmar. Okay, it is your Myanmar. Then it is your Bhutan. Okay, it is your Bhutan, and after that you have Afghanistan. Okay, you have Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka is not sharing any direct border because there is a Park Strait in between, so Sri Lanka is not coming here. But you need to check this order. Okay, Bangladesh is sharing the largest border, then it is China, then we have Pakistan, then we have Nepal, then Myanmar, then Bhutan. Okay, this B is for Bhutan and this B is for Bangladesh, and then last we have Afghanistan, which is now under Pakistan occupied Kashmir. All right, but we need to get this back soon. All right. So, so let's go ahead with the physical features. The main lane comprises 4 regions, namely, you have the Great Mountain Zone, okay, plains of the Ganga. Okay, we have plains of Ganga, then Indus and Ganga Plain, then desert region, southern peninsula, and the mountain. Okay, so you see that physical features wise, India has been divided into 4 regions. Okay, one is a Great Mountainous Zone. Okay, that is all the mountainous zone will come under it. Then we have the biggest plain areas. In fact, we can even add Brahmaputra plain here along with Ganga and Indus. Then we have the desert region of Rajasthan mainly, and the southern peninsula, entire peninsula belt. All right. So after this, you can see here that the Himalayas comprise three almost parallel ranges, okay, interspread with large plateaus and valleys, such some of which like Kashmir, Kullu valleys. Okay, so you see how beautiful our diversity is in terms of geography. Now, I promise you that in geography lectures, you will get these things in details. Okay, but since we are not covering geography, so I'm not going into detailed analysis of these topics. All right, but you see here that these valleys are very, very fertile. Okay, and extensive and great scenic beauty. So let me ask you, for example, in the Kashmir Valley, okay, you know, we know that there is a Kashmir Valley. So can you tell me which cultivation is done in Kashmir Valley? Like Kashmir and Jammu Kashmir, the valley that we have, all right, there is a very famous cultivation. Okay, which crop is very famously known in these valleys? Can anyone tell me in the comment box? Yes, very good, Biplab. It is kesar, or you can also say it to be a saffron, okay, which is very, very expensive. Okay, it is mainly we're talking about saffron. Okay, yes, very good. Those who have answered, it is a saffron or the kesar cultivation. Okay, you need to know that. Okay, and these are fertile soils, and that is why we have a lot of like cultivation. Okay, then uh, then we go ahead, and some of the highest peaks in the world are also, you see the diversity. Okay, we have fertile land, we have highest peaks in the world. Okay, the high altitudes allow travel only through few passes, and that is why, since there are a lot of high peaks and mountainous ranges, obviously the communication becomes difficult, and we have a lot of passes. And in fact, in exam you get questions from these passes. Okay, that can you tell me in which state these passes are present? Jalepla and Nathula. Okay, and it is like Jalepla and Nathula. Okay, if you know that this Nathula and Jalepla are present in your Sikkim area. Okay, in your Sikkim area, that is the northeast of Darjeeling. Okay, above that, and you also need to notice that there is a triangle area. Okay, if I draw this as Sikkim, okay, and then this is Nepal, then this is Bhutan. Okay, and above it is China. All right, now there are two passes, Jalepla and Nathula. Okay, and Bhutan is like this. Okay, Bhutan is like this, and this is China. Now this triangle portion that I am trying to show you here is known as the Chumbi Valley. Okay, is known as your Chumbi Valley. So in exam you might be asked where this Chumbi Valley is present. Okay, so you need to know that this area is the Chumbi Valley, and it is sharing a border with China, Bhutan, and Sikkim, that is India. Okay, so Chumbi Valley, and this passes also enters the Chumbi Valley. Okay, through, and that is China, and from here you can move up. All right, so and the Doklam issue was also present, was also a part of this Chumbi Valley only. Okay, so let's not go into details. Then we have some other passes like Shipkila Pass. Okay, now Shipkila Pass, if you know, it is in Himachal Pradesh. Okay, it is in Himachal Pradesh through the Satluj Valley. Okay, the northeast of Kapla Kinor. All right, and through this Shipkila Pass, a very important river, antecedent river, enters in India. If you know, please mention in the comment box. Okay, this Shipkila Pass, through this Shipkila Pass, a very important river enters in the Indian, and it is a tributary of also Indus River. Okay, it is an antecedent river. That means it comes from the Trans Himalayas. Okay, and it is, if you know, if please mention this, it is already, it is mentioned the Satluj Valley. It is the Satluj River. Okay, it is not Indus, it is the Satluj River. Okay, all right. So the northeast of the mountain well extends over a distance of about 2,400 kilometer. Okay. So this mountain, this entire Himalayan belt is around covering a distance of 2,400 kilometer and a varying depth of 240 to 320 kilometer. Okay. Depth matlab इसमें क्या mean कर रहे हैं? What is the depth? For example, it is trying to say that when we draw the Indian map, this is the length. Okay, and this is the depth. Okay, so from north to south order, if you see, it is around 240 to 320 kilometer. In the east, okay, that means towards northeast between India and Myanmar and India and Bangladesh, hill ranges are much lower. Okay, because the height of the mountains actually decreases towards this part. Okay, and also it becomes narrower. Okay, it also becomes narrower. It is like this, the Himalayan mountains becomes narrower towards Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and that is why we say that the Shivalik rains almost disappear in this particular region. Okay, so anyways, we can discuss those things in the geography class. Now in the east between India and Myanmar, okay, we have seen this. There are hill ranges as much lower, and Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Naga hills running almost east to west join the chain to Mizo, Rakhine hills running north to south. Okay, and okay, this is just a advertisement. Okay, line. Okay, so you can see here that the Rakhine is mainly the Myanmar area, the Mizo Hills. Okay, you know, there Mizo Hills is also known by a particular name. Can you tell me what is the name of the Mizo Hills in the comment box? Okay, quickly. So this Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. Okay, this is your Meghalaya. Then we have the Naga Hills, and in between we also have the Barel Range. Okay, that is present in Assam, or the North Kachar Hills. Okay, very good, Madhujo. It is the Mizo Hills are also known as your Lushai Hills. Okay, it is also known as your Lusai Hills. You should know this. Okay, very good. Everyone, those who have, yes, it is Lusai Hills. Okay, very good. So so next that we are going to see is that it's we also talk so this was about the mountainous zone. Okay, next zone is about the plains, and in the plains you can see that we have three big plains of Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra, and these are all your you can say it is your 12 months we have water from this. Okay, and the Ganga Indus about 2,400 kilometer long, 240 to 320 kilometer broad. Okay, and formed by basins of three distinct river systems. Okay, the plain areas. Okay, it was talking about this, even the mountains. Okay, so they are one of the world's greatest stretches of the flat alluvium. Obviously, these basins are so fertile that is why we find the alluvium soil. Okay, we find the alluvium soil. Okay, Sahira, it's good that you are residing near the Lusai Hills. Okay, so this fertile land of these rivers are giving us what? The alluvial soil. We also need to know the different types of soil of India at the same time of Assam. Okay, we can discuss that in a different lecture. And also one of the most densely populated areas, obviously, since the fertility of the soil is so high and agriculture will become so productive, so obviously the population is also very high here. And between the Yamuna at Delhi and Bay of Bengal, nearly 1600 kilometers away, there is a drop of only 200 meters in elevation. Okay, so it means that it is a great plain area. It is a great plain area. Okay, so the drop between Yamuna and Bay of Bengal is hardly 200 meters. Okay, so it's not elevated. So the desert region, again, the third zone can be divided into two parts. One is the Great Desert. Okay, one is the Great Desert and one is the Little Desert. The Great Desert extends from the edge of Run of Kutch, which is in Gujarat. Okay, can you tell me, there is one important national park in this Run of Kutch? What is the name of that national park, if you can tell me? Okay, so moving ahead, it is from the Run of Kutch beyond the Luni River northward. Okay, so the Great Desert from Gujarat, it is expanding towards northward. Okay, and there is this Luni River, and the whole of Rajasthan, Sindh, yes, Rajasthan Sindh frontier runs through this. Okay, no, it is not Ranthambore. Okay, Ranthambore, you'll find it in Rajasthan. It is Gir National Park. Okay, it is Gir National Park, which is present in Gujarat. And there is also Gir is also famous for your, I forgot the name of this animal. It is, I think, bustard. Okay, the Great Indian Bustard. Yes, it is the Great Indian Bustard, which is also famous for that. All right. So moving ahead, yes, Asiatic lion is also found there. Okay. Okay. So the Little Desert extends from the Luni between the Jaisalmer and the Jodhpur up to the northern west. Okay, so the entire desert, Ranthambore is in Rajasthan. It is not in Gujarat. Okay, Ranthambore is not in Gujarat. It is in Rajasthan. All right. So what we are trying to talk about is the entire desert is divided into Great Desert and Little Desert. I think before you read this book, you were not aware about this particular division. Okay, and in UPSC you can find a very beautiful question that the Great Desert and the Little Desert is divided by which river. All right, so if that is asked, then obviously your answer is Luni River, and you can find this answer in this book. Okay, and this kind of questions are normally coming in the exam. So between the Great and the Little Desert lies a zone of absolutely sterile country consisting of rocky land cut up by the limestone ridges. Okay, so it is not fertile at all. It is not fertile at all, and there are limestone. Okay, that is your calcium carbonate. Okay, and this makes the land very, very you can talk about infertile. Okay, then the fourth zone that we can talk about is discussing about a peninsular plateau. Okay, and peninsular means what? We call a land as peninsula when the three parts of the land is covered by water, and that is the meaning of peninsula. It's marked off from the plains of Ganga. Okay, so this is the plain of Ganga. So from here, okay, your plain of the peninsula starts, okay, and the Indus by a mass of mountain and hill ranges. So even in the peninsula, we have a lot of mass of mountain ranges. Like we have Western Ghats, we have Eastern Ghats, we have also other mountain ranges, like we have also have Narmada range and Satpura range. Okay, then we have various other mountainous ranges in Maharashtra, local mountainous ranges. Okay, then we have like the prominent Aravali, okay, Vindhya, Satpura, Maikala, Ajanta. So Ajanta is Ajanta Ellora caves, okay, it is mountain ranges in the Maharashtra area, okay. So this peninsula actually starts not from this part, okay. If I draw a new map for you, for example, let me draw a new map for you, okay. You see, this is the map of India, okay. Forgive me for the diagram. This is in with this, it is not very easy to draw. Forgive me for this, otherwise I can draw a good map, but here it is not possible. Anyways, so you see here that the Ganga is flowing somewhere from like this, okay, Brahmaputra is flowing somewhere like this, and Indus is flowing somewhere like this, all right. And we have Delhi here, okay, we have Delhi here. And in Delhi, from Delhi actually there is a point called as your uh, Majnu Ka Tila. Okay, it is near the north campus of Delhi University, Majnu Ka Tila, and this is actually the tipmost point of Aravali range. We have a Aravali range like this, okay, which is running parallel to the border of Rajasthan, and then we have this two mountainous ranges, Satpura and Vindhya. Okay, and from this point actually, from where the Aravali has started from north point, actually from this point we count the peninsular land. Okay, this is the entire peninsular land. All right, so so, so the peninsular plateau is marked off from the plains of Ganga and the Indus by mass of mountain. Okay, prominent mountainous ranges like we have Aravali, Vindhya, Satpura, Maikala, Ajanta. Peninsula is flanked on one side by Eastern Ghats. Okay, so you can see that this side is discovered by Eastern Ghats. All right, and average elevation of this is around 610 meters, not very high. And on the other side, we have the Western Ghats. Okay, this is the Western Ghats. Can you tell me Western Ghats is passing through how many states? Okay, Western Ghats is passing through 6 states. It is Gujarat, it is Maharashtra, it is then Goa, it is Karnataka, then we have Kerala, and last we have Tamil Nadu. Okay, so Western Ghats are present in 6 states. All right, so please do not get confused. And it is Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. It is around 915 to 1220, okay, meters, rising in places to over highest peak is 2440 meters. All right, between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea lies a narrow coastal strip, while between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal there is a broader coastal area. Okay, so why this? Why this? If I ask you why this region, because the Western Ghats actually it was the fault line which got created when the Indian subcontinent struck the Euro-Asian plate. Okay, and then there was a crack in this. Okay, there was a crack in this part. There was a crack in this part, and one part got subsided down, went inside the ocean, Arabian Sea, and that is why we have a mountain-like wall. The Western Ghats looks like a wall when you see from this direction from Arabian Sea. Okay, and this part got tilted or slanted on the eastern side. Okay, and that is why this side it is like having a gentle slope. Okay, the peninsula is having a gentle slope on this side, and that is why all the rivers of the peninsular rivers are maximum are flowing from west to east. Okay, this is west and this is east because of the slanting part of our geography in the peninsula. Okay, and that is why this is a narrow strip, but here you will find very beautiful coastal zones, okay, and beaches and everything. All right, so the southern point of the plateau is formed by the Nilgiri Hills, okay, of our Indian Peninsula Plateau. Nilgiri Hills is there in the southern part, whereas the eastern and western Ghats meet. Okay, so both the western and eastern Ghats they come and meet here, and this is your Nilgiri. Okay, so there is also Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. All right, you should know about it. We can discuss those things in environment classes. Where the eastern, we already have the environment classes uploaded in the app. You can check it. Where the eastern and western Ghats meet, the Cardamom Hills lying beyond may be regarded as a continuation of Western Ghats. Okay, so one information that you see here, that the Western Ghats are coming and Eastern Ghats are coming and meeting at what? The Nilgiri. Okay, it is Nilgiri. Yes, there are 18 biosphere reserves. We can discuss that in environment lecture. But Cardamom Hills is even southern, okay, even at southern from the Nilgiris. Okay, so you can talk, even this question might be asked in the exam. Okay, that which of the following hills are beyond or southernmost from Nilgiri Hills, and they can give you a lot of examples. All right, so Cardamom Hills, you need to know about it. Then talking about the geological structure, okay, geological wise, the country is divided into uh, like a subcontinent can be divided into three regions: extra peninsular regions, that is the Himalayas, because this is outside the peninsula, right? Then the Indo-Gangetic plains and the peninsular region. Okay, so the present configuration of India is attributed to the collision of Indian plate. So that is what I told you, that present attribution, okay, that this slanting, or we have the peaks here and here. Okay, there are two peaks, one at this point and one at this point. This is known as Namcha Barwa and this is known as Nanga Parvat. Okay, why did this happen? Because when India was coming up towards the northern movement, okay, from Gondwana land to Eurasian plate, it collided first at this point, and this became a mountainous peak, and then it turned in, the entire plate turned, okay, with a point of reference of this one, and then it hit the Eurasian plate here, and there also we have a peak, that is Namcha Barwa. Okay, so when it had collided at this point, there developed a crack in the Western Ghats, and when it finally hit this part, then it got splitted from here, okay, and got subsided down under the ocean, and this became a mountain. All right, and this part got slanted towards this direction. Okay, so this is actually this statement, it's when it is talking about that the present configuration of a country, the physical, okay, the geophysical configuration is attributed to the collision of Indian plate with the Eurasian plate around 4 to 5 crores of years. Can you imagine that? Okay, how we have developed. Now this collision and later subduction of Indian plate has resulted in the formation, okay, okay, subduction of in the Indian plate. Can you see this? So subduction, समुद्र के अंदर चला गया, and this had actually formation of picturesque mountain chain in the world, which we talk about the uh, like Himalayas, at the same time Western Ghats. Okay, prior to the collision, the area remained under marine conditions. Okay, for a long duration, because you know that prior to all these things, now these are actually topics of geography. Okay, these are actually topics of geography, but still, let me just give you a quick understanding of this, because if this is our Earth, okay, earlier there was only one mass of land, that is your Pangaea. Then it got separated, okay, and formed two mass of land. This is your Eurasia, and this is your Laurasia, and this is a Gondwana land. Okay, this one is a Gondwana and Laurasia, and this in between, this was known as Tethys Sea. Okay, and India was somewhere here. Okay, India was somewhere here, and then again, because of plate tectonics, this got splitted. Okay, this became South America, then Antarctica, Africa, India, and Australia. Okay, all this belong to Gondwana land, and India moved upwards. Okay, and when it was moving upwards, okay, then when it was moving upwards because of plate tectonics, and then when finally, for example, if I show it to you, okay, when finally it came and met the Eurasian plate, okay, so whatever between it was there in between, okay, since these are two uh, continental plate boundaries, okay, it will move up. Okay, it will move up. For example, if I show you like this, okay, from a horizontal figure, then since these are both continental, so it will not go down, it will go up. Okay, now whatever there was in between, it will take these things in the upward direction. Okay, और यहाँ पे बीच में क्या था, Tethys Sea था with a lot of minerals and resources. Okay, and that is why it is believed that since this created the Himalayas in between. Okay, so the peak of Himalaya, top of Himalayas is having a full of resources. Okay, whatever earlier it was there in the Tethys Sea. Okay, so that is what is being, and that is why it is written here that prior to the collision, the area remained under marine conditions for a long duration and was covered by an ocean known as Tethys Sea. I hope you are getting me what I am trying to explain. In the south of Himalaya, there is a four-lane basin known as Indo-Gangetic Plains, because you know that on the southern side of Himalayas we have this Indo-Gangetic Plains. These plains are youngest in age. Okay, obviously, because once the Himalaya will form, then the rivers will start flowing, and once the rivers will start flowing, then only the alluvium will start getting deposited out of the river soil because of the erosion coming. Okay, and then only your Indo-Gangetic plain will form, and this is the youngest in age, highly fertile in nature, and mainly consists of alluvium deposited by the rivers. All right, so this is what you can see. The peninsular region is shaped like an inverted triangle. Okay, obviously this is like an inverted triangle. Okay, a straight triangle is like this, and considered a storehouse of economic minerals. for India. So this region is full of economic minerals. This region is relatively stable and consists of rock unique of earliest periods dating back, okay, a lot of like 380 crore years. The rest is being covered by the Gondwana supergroup lava flows following belonging to the Deccan Crepe volcanism and younger quaternary sediments. So you see that how beautifully why we have so much of diversity, because whatever you see in the Himalayas, okay, or in the Gangetic plain, okay, these are very young, these are very new features that have been formed. But this particular land, okay, it was even there even when we had a Gondwana land, okay. And I can tell you one thing here, that during the Gondwana land time period, our plate tectonics was active in a different format, okay, because in that time period when India looked like this, okay, India looked like this, it did not have the JNK and the north, like, and some of the portions. So here when we try to see, the plate tectonics was something like this, okay, the plate tectonics was something like this, okay. This fault line was actually the Aravalli mountain, okay. Now this is not since this is not active any longer, so Aravalli is actually now a residual mountain, okay, its height is decreasing because this plate is no longer active. Then this plate was the fault line where we see the area between Satpura and Vindhya range, okay. And this fault line is actually the Damodar river that is flowing from the your Achanak Amarkantak plateau to joining to Ganga and finally flowing in Bay of Bengal. Okay, now this actually was also a fault, and this was entirely a forest area, and then it created a river basin. Okay, and the entire forest area got submerged. Okay, and this happened during the Gondwana land itself, when India was in Gondwana land, that is in the southern hemisphere. And since this entire forest land got submerged, and that is why this fossils now gives us a lot of coal. Okay, and that is why this is also known as Gondwana coal. Okay, so we can talk about these minerals later on, but these are, you can see that these are very old as compared to our new Himalaya or the new Gangetic or river basins. Okay, then we have some of the river systems, like we have the Himalayan rivers, the Deccan rivers, the coastal rivers, all right, and we have the rivers of the inland drainage basin, that means which does not fall in the ocean. Okay, now the Himalayan rivers are formed by the melting snow. This is a very yes, Jharkhand highest coal deposit, and Jharkhand, then your Chota Nagpur plateau. Okay, then your some portions of West Bengal, all this falls under the Damodar or the Gondwana coal. Okay, so all this your river system, when we talk about, okay, we know that the like Himalayan rivers are formed by the melting of snow and glaciers, and therefore continuously flow throughout the year. Okay, and that is why we call it as a perennial river, because there is water 12 months a year. During the monsoon months, the Himalayas receive very heavy rainfall, and due to which rivers swell and cause frequent floods. Now, this is very common sense for us. We all know this, so I'm not explaining anything here. The Deccan rivers, on the other hand, are rain-fed and therefore fluctuate in volume. Okay, इसलिए if I ask you, for example, river, कोई नदी का पानी को लेकर अगर आपने dispute सुना है, have you heard about Bihar and Uttar Pradesh fighting for water for Ganga? Obviously not, because there is water available all 12 months a year. But you have heard about Kaveri water dispute, you have heard about Krishna water dispute. Okay, because it's in the southern India, and in the perennial, in the yes, Tista is there, but Tista is an international water dispute, because between Bangladesh and India. Okay, so but I'm talking about within. I'm talking about within the country, within the country. Okay, within India, between states mainly. Okay, okay. So there, what I'm trying to tell you is that because in the peninsular rivers there is no melting of snow. Okay, there is no permanent source, and that is why it is completely dependent on the monsoon rainfalls, and that is why during the dry season the volume of water actually decreases a lot, and some of the downstream states do not receive sufficient amount of water, since there are storage of waters being done by the upstream states. Okay, so and that is why it gives rise to various water disputes in the southern states of a country. And if you see, most of them are non-perennial. Okay, non-perennial means the water is not available 12 throughout the year in the southern peninsular states of a country. And the streams of inland drainage basin of western Rajasthan. Okay, Rajasthan may there are some of the rivers which are inland drainage. Okay, and for example, Saraswati pehle ek tha. Okay, then we have a river called as Mahi, Okay, now there are some inland, then Luni. Okay, so these are some of the rivers which are like inland drainage, which is not falling on the ocean. Then the main Himalayan river systems are those of the Indus and Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna system. Okay, Meghna is called, its name is called in the Bangladesh. So the Indus, which is a great river of the world, rises from Mansarovar in Tibet. All right. Now these things I discuss in great details in geography classes. I can also come up with various geography classes. Let we'll see that. Okay. So now what I'm trying to tell you is that here that the river or Indus, okay, it is originating at Mansarovar in Tibet, then which enters India and thereafter through Pakistan finally flows into the Arabian Sea near Karachi. Okay, its important tributaries, we all know that there are five important tributaries that are Satluj, again originating in Tibet, Bias, Ravi, Chenab, and also Jhelum. Okay, then we have the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, which is again another important system, of which the principal sub-basins are those of, because Ganga when it comes, okay, mainly originally Ganga is originating from two areas, Bhagirathi and Alaknanda. These two streams comes together, okay, and joins at Haridwar, and from Haridwar it is known as Ganga. Okay, and this point is known as your Dev Prayag. This point is known as your Dev Prayag. Okay, where Bhagirathi and Alaknanda meets. All right, then to form the Ganga, it traverses through Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, we all know that Ganga is flowing through Uttarakhand initially, Rishikesh, then Haridwar. Okay, then Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and below Rajmahal Hills. Okay, the Bhagirathi, uh, below Rajmahal Hills, the Bhagirathi, which used to be the main course in the past, takes off while the Padma continues eastward. Okay, so actually Bhagirathi, मतलब Rajmahal Hills आपका कहाँ है? It is near Bihar, West Bengal area. Okay, and from there again there is a tributary, or there is one river. Okay, which is again known as Bhagirathi. Okay, and which used to be the main course in the past takes off. Okay, while it enters Bangladesh and then Padma continues eastwards. Okay, so Ganga is known as Padma in the Bangladesh country. So after that, we have many other tributaries of Ganga like Yamuna, Ramganga, Ghagra, Ganda, Koshi. Okay, and Mahananda and Son are also important tributaries of the Ganga. All right. Now these are like, when you are talking about Ramganga, Ghagra, Gandak, okay, Kosi, these are all left bank tributaries. But rivers like Yamuna, Son, Mahananda, okay, these are all your right bank tributaries. Then we have some rivers like River Chambal and Betua. They are also important sub tributaries. Okay, because Chambal, Sindh, Betua, Ken. There are four rivers actually: Chambal, Sindh, Betua, and Ken. There are four rivers which are, all these are tributaries of Yamuna River. Okay, and then Yamuna then joins Ganga. So that is why Chambal and Betua are the sub tributaries of Ganga. All right. Then Padma, once Ganga enters Bangladesh, it is known as Padma, and then Brahmaputra also joins Padma at Bangladesh and continue to flow as the Padma or Ganga. The Brahmaputra rises in Tibet. Okay, we all know this. We should know this, that it rises in Tibet, and which is known as Sangpo. Okay, in China it is known as Changpo, Yarlung Sangpo in details, and then it enters Arunachal Pradesh under the name of Dihang, or it is also known as Siang. Okay, it is also known as Siang or Dihang in Arunachal Pradesh. All right. Then the important tributaries come and join. There is a Dibang and Lohit is the most easternmost tributary of Brahmaputra. Okay, and above Lohit we also have an important bridge. Okay, I hope you know the name of this bridge. Okay, Dhola Sodia Bridge. And the river Brahmaputra and the combined river runs all along the Assam Valley. It crosses into Bangladesh downstream of Dhubri. Okay, so I hope you all know this. Okay, it's not Bogibeel. Bogibeel is obviously near Debrugarh. It is above Brahmaputra mainstream. Okay, it is the Dhola Sadia Bridge or the Bhupen Hazarika Setu also. It can be known as, yes, Raki and Madhurya. It is a Dhola Sadia Bridge. Okay, okay. There is one question. Total 6 rivers flows to Assam. Sorry, Pakistan. Yes, like Indus is flowing, and there are tributaries of uh, Indus. There are 5 tributaries of Indus River. Okay, so the principal tributaries of Brahmaputra in India are, you know, that Subansari. Subansari is the largest tributary of Brahmaputra. Okay, then we have Jiabharali. Okay, then Dhansiri, Puthimari, Pagladia, Manas, and if you see the westernmost tributary of Brahmaputra, it is known as Sankosh. Okay, it is known as Sankosh, and the easternmost is the Lohit. Okay, can you tell me which is the largest? If Subansari is the largest tributary of Brahmaputra, then what is the largest tributary of Manas River? Can you answer me in the comment box? All right. Then we also have the Barak river system, okay, the head stream of Meghna. Okay, once Barak joins the once I'm not sure what is Jiabharali known as in Arunachal. Okay, you can please find out that. It is not Beki. It is I River. Okay, it is Madhuja. It is I River, the largest tributary of. I'm not very sure, but if Jiabharali is known as Beki, but the largest tributary of Manas River is I. All right. So then we have another river system, that is your Barak. But I promise to teach you all these river systems. Okay, I I promise to teach you the river systems in great details in our geography classes, not in this. Okay. So again, we have the Barak river system, and when Barak joins the Brahmaputra and Ganga in Brahmaputra in your Bangladesh, it is then known as your Meghna. Okay. And Barak rises where is the origin of Barak? It is the hills of Manipur. Okay. And the important tributaries of rivers of Barak are like Makku, Trang, Privi, Jiri, Sonai. Okay. So you can see this Rukni, Kathakal, Dhaleshwari, Lagan, Chini, Maduva, and Jatinga. Okay, Jatinga is also a very important tourist place. Okay, in the North Kachar Hills. All right, and if any one of you belong from North Kachar Hills, in your interview, they might ask you about if you are posted as an officer there, how to remove the superstitious belief of Jatinga and how to promote the tourism. Okay, so Barak continues in Bangladesh till the combined Ganga Brahmaputra join it near Bhaira Bazar. Okay, so Barak is joining this part in Bhaira Bazar in Bangladesh, but not very important for your exam perspective. Then in the Deccan region, again, most of the major river systems flowing generally in the east. Okay, I had already told you that the major rivers are flowing from west to east, except a few exceptions. Okay, like the Narmada River and the Tapti River. Okay, now that is like the Narmada and Tapti are major west flowing rivers, but that is because of the geological feature. Okay, the geography, it is like that. All right. So the major east flowing rivers are Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and Mahanadi. Now we will discuss all this in details in our geography classes, but for now we are not going into details of this. Okay. All right. Okay, if Jiabharil is known as Kameng in Arunachal, that's a information that even I was not sure about it. Thank you very much. If that is correct, if Jiabharil is known as Kameng in Arunachal Pradesh. All right. So the Godavari in Southern Peninsula has a second largest river basin, covering 10% of the area in India. Okay, so it is the second largest river basin covering 10% of area of India. Next to it is Krishna, okay, basin in the region, and Mahanadi is another large basin. So these are all river basins in the southern part of India, and basin of Narmada in the uplands of Deccan flowing into the Arabian Sea, and the Kaveri in the south falling into Bay of Bengal. So we know that Narmada and Tapti actually falls into your Arabian Sea. Okay, all right. While only a handful of such rivers drain into the sea near the delta of East Coast, there are as many as 600 such rivers on West Coast, which are comparatively very small. Okay, West Coast also, like from the Western Ghats, there are small streams which are flowing in the Arabian Sea, but they are not very much like they are not very much magnificent rivers, and that is why we don't study about it. A few rivers in Rajasthan is also there, okay, like Luni, Machu, Rupen, Saraswati, Banas, Ghagar, and others. Okay, so these are some of the important rivers of Rajasthan which do not drain into the sea. They drain into the salt lakes and get lost in the sand. Okay, and that is why we call them as what? Inland water drainage. Okay, inland river drainage, and these are rivers like Luni, Machu, Rupen, Saraswati, Banas, and Ghagar. Now the entire country again has been divided into 20 river basins. Okay, एंड दिस इज नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऐसा नहीं पूछेगा कि आपको कितने रिवर बेसिन में डिवाइडेड है. जिसमें 12 मेजर बेसिन है एंड 8 composite river basin. Okay, now 12 major basin you can see Indus, obviously it is a very big one. Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, Pennar, Brahmani, Baitarni. Okay, this is also a very important one. Okay, because यहाँ पे inland waterways बनाया गया है recently. Okay, then Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, and Tapti. All these are the 12 major basins, and there are also another 8 composite river basins. All right, the 8 composite river basins suitably together like a 2000 to 20,000 like itna square area cover karta hai. Drainage area is less than 2000 square kilometer. Okay, so you see here that the 8 composite river basins combining suitably together all the other remaining medium and small river basins. Okay, so jaise Subarna Rekha ho gaya. Can you tell me where in which state this river is flowing, in which state this river is flowing, this Subarna Rekha, and other small rivers between Subarna Rekha and Betarni. Okay, these all are important rivers flowing in some of the eastern coastal states. Okay, for example, Andhra Pradesh and Orissa. Okay, Subarna Rekha is mainly flowing in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and these are all east flowing rivers because it is falling on the eastern coast. All right. Then we also have some west flowing small rivers of Kutch and Saurashtra region, including Luni, Tapi to Tadri, and so on. Okay, it's not Jharkhand. It should be Andhra Pradesh. Okay, please confirm Raki once. Anyways, so you see that how diversified India looks. Okay, from how diversified India looks from your geographical perspective. Okay, so even if a question comes on diversity of India, you can in fact write one paragraph from this chapter about the geographical belt. Okay, okay, thank you. If Jharkhand is also included. All right, so let us now go into the climate and seasons. Now these are all the various chapters of geography. Okay, there, because in geography we need to study the GC Leong, and all the climates and the different climatologies are also mentioned in different chapters. If time permits, I will definitely cover it up also with all of you. All right. So the different climates and seasons, if we talk about, so the climate of India may be broadly described into tropical monsoon type. Okay, we have a tropical monsoon. Why tropical? Because mainly we fall under some portion under tropics, because we know that the Tropic of Cancer is passing to 23.5 degree north. Okay, and half part of India comes under tropical zone and half part comes under subtropical zone. Okay, and since we have a monsoon, we have a southwest monsoon. Okay, along with your northeast monsoon. Okay, so we have, that is why our climate is basically described as tropical monsoon. Okay, type. So in fact, sometimes in a very easy question you might be even asked about this, that what type of broadly what do we classify our climate as in India. All right, so the Indian Meteorological Department designates the four official seasons, and mainly winter from December to early April. Okay, then the coldest months are December. This is very common sense. You can just give a reading. You don't expect much question from this paragraph. All right, so you can just give a reading. But again, you see here that the season is dominated when we talk about monsoon, basically the rainy season. Okay, lasting from June to September. So this is very important for your prelims, that monsoon lasts from which particular season. In fact, this has been already asked in your exam. Okay, so this is from June, July, August, September, 4 months. We have 4 months of monsoon rainfall. Okay, so this is from June to September, and the season is dominated by humid southwest summer. Now why it is southwest called as southwest monsoon? Because it comes from a direction, but in details we can talk in the geography class, not here. All right, June 21st, sun ray falls on the Tropic of Cancer. Yes, you are right, and that is also known as the summer solstice, and the longest day in the northern hemisphere and the shortest night. Okay, so which slowly sweeps across the country between late May. Okay, so you can see here, and then monsoon rains begin to recede from October. Okay, and then because of the ITCZ movement in the downward direction. Now, what is ITCZ? We can discuss that in the geography class. All right. So South India typically receives more rainfall. Okay, South India will receive more rainfall during the receding of monsoon. That means in the northeastern monsoon. Okay, okay. So and in the post monsoon season lasting from October to December. In northwestern India, October, November are usually cloudless. All right. So why it is cloudless in the northwestern and October, November are usually cloudless? We can talk about, because if this is India, okay, normally the northeast rainfall is coming from this direction and northwest is somewhere here. Okay, so till there not much of moisture falls into. Okay, and that is why we say it is cloudless, so there is no rainfall. But that is why we say that when there was Chennai flood in 2015, it was held in November month, if you remember. Okay, Chennai flood occurred in November 15, if you remember, and that is because of your retreating monsoon during this time period, October to December. Okay, but normally Assam and Northeast receives maximum rainfall during the time of Southwest monsoon and not Northeast monsoon. Okay, but in details we can discuss in the geography class. All right. Yes, it is intertropical convergence zone. Very good. But in details, we will discuss about it later on. Then the Himalayan states being more temperate. Okay, why it is temperate? Because of the climatic, because of the increase in altitude. Okay, we see a temperate. So you see, in some part we have a tropical monsoon. Then within India, we also have temperate. Okay, experience two additional seasons, autumn and spring. All right. Traditionally, India notes Okay, 6 seasons. Okay, India knows 6 seasons. It's about 2 months, and that is we have spring, summer, monsoon, early autumn, late autumn, and winter. Okay, so if it is asked how many seasons, we can talk about 6 seasons. Okay, please do not write 4 seasons. These are based on the astronomical divisions of 12 months into 6 parts. Okay, and the ancient Hindu calendar also reflects the seasons in its arrangements of months. All right, we don't have to go into details of this. India's climate is affected by two seasonal winds. Okay, one is the northeast monsoon and one is the southwest monsoon. So we will know this in geography class in great details. Okay, but we should know that our climate is affected mainly by two seasonal winds. And what is monsoon? Actually, monsoon is seasonal reversal of wind. Okay, that from season to season the wind gets reversed, because in the summertime it is moving from south to west. Okay, and in winter time it is moving from north to, that is from northeast direction. Okay, and from in summer it is moving from southwest. So that is why monsoon we call in one line as seasonal reversal of wind. Okay, from season to season, from summer to winter, there is reversal of wind, and that is what we normally call monsoon as. Okay, the northeast monsoon, commonly known as winter monsoons, blows from land to sea. Okay, whereas the southwest monsoons, known as summer monsoon, blows from sea to land. So I hope you already know this. Okay, so we can discuss this in our geography classes. So after crossing the Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, and Bay of Bengal. So this is very simple for you to understand. So basically, we are talking about what? We are talking about the great diversity of India, right from the geographical, physical features to different types of rivers, to different types of mountains, to different types of plain areas, okay, to different types of your climatic zones, to different types of. Now we are going to discuss the flora and fauna. Okay, and that is why we have so many different diverse classification of climate, and definitely our flora and fauna will be also very very rich. Okay, and that also is visible from the numbers of wildlife sanctuaries. We have more than hundreds of wildlife sanctuaries, and so many national parks, along with 18 biosphere reserves, so many wetlands under Ramsar sites. Okay, then we have various MAB sites. Okay, and man and biosphere sites. So those things we discuss in the environment classes. So India is very very rich from its vegetation, flora and fauna, and available data places India at the 10th position. You can see that we are at the 10th position in the world and fourth in Asia in plant diversity. Now you see, you don't know this, but if there is a question on environment, if there is a question on climate change, if there is a question on anything, okay, whatever there is in a syllabus, you can definitely quote this kind of facts in your answers. Okay, you will definitely get 1 or 2 marks extra. So India, like from the plant diversity perspective, okay, India is at the 10th position in the world and fourth in Asia, from about 70%. Okay, from about the 70% geographical area surveyed so far. ठीक है, अभी तक पूरा geographical area भी सर्वे नहीं हुआ. अगर पूरा सर्वे हो गया तो इस India may climb up the position again. Okay, because if we survey the other 30%, then we will find more species. Okay, we'll discover more species. और हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ species discover होता ही रहता है, क्योंकि आज भी एक न्यूज़पेपर में आपका एक दो न्यू species of कौन सा क्या क्या डिस्कवर हुआ है बताइए आप. अगर आपने न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा है तो प्लीज लेट मी नो which what new species have been discovered. आज का न्यूज़पेपर में था वो. Okay, please let me know in the comment section. So far over 46,000 species of plants have been described by the Botanical Survey of India. तो एक prelims का क्वेश्चन आपका बनता है ऐसे कि Botanical Survey of India का जो headquarter है वो कहाँ पे है? It is in Kolkata. Okay, and the vascular flora which forms the conspicuous vegetation. It's not spider. It's not spider. Okay, it's something else. I'll wait till I get the correct answer. Okay, so let's move ahead then with a wide, not in Arunachal, but yes, it in one of the northeastern states only it was found. Okay, so with a wide range of climatic conditions from with a wide range. Okay, so you see that our, yes, it is ants. Okay, very good, it is ants. Can you tell me the state where it is discovered? Next question. It is ants, two new species. In which state it has been discovered? So with a wide range, so you see that there is a huge diversity of flora and fauna, and at the same time you can see that with a wide range of climatic conditions from torrid to Arctic. Okay, we also have Arctic because of the temperate climate. India is a rich and varied vegetation, because as the climate will change, आपका पूरा, yes, very good, it is in Mizoram. Okay, so Sanjukta, it's in Mizoram, and the answer is ants. So since because of different climatic zone, okay, you will see different variety of vegetation. Okay, India can be divided into 8 distinct floristic region. Okay, itna details nahi chahiye, but still you should know that 8 distinct floristic regions. Now what is this paragraph trying to tell you? If I will explain it to you in a bit details. For example, कि हमारा climate change होने की वजह से हमारा plantation और vegetation में कैसे change हो रहा है. Okay, let me tell you. For example, if you move from north to south, okay, अगर आप north to south move करोगे, you will see change in the crop pattern. Okay, because climatically जो भी support होता है वही वहाँ पे grow करेंगे. Okay, for example in north, if you talk about Punjab and Haryana, उन लोगों का staple crop क्या है? Wheat है. Okay, wheat, right? But if we move towards this side, we'll find mainly rice. Can you tell me why? Because this part, okay, of the northern India is majorly having a temperate climate, and wheat is most suitable for temperate. But when we come across this alluvial soil, okay, then monsoon and huge amount of water available, so obviously there paddy will grow. Okay, paddy will grow. So you see that whenever you move from place to place, the climate change, your vegetation will also get diversified. For example, if you move from east to west, okay, east to west in your peninsular India, now I'll tell you, when you move and travel places, you should always find out their food crops or the staple items, okay, what they are eating and why they're eating that. Okay, what is the climate that is supporting it. You should normally find out all these things. It will enhance your knowledge like anything. Okay, for example, when you, like in the beach area, when you are in the beach area, okay, you'll find coconuts. Okay, you'll find a lot of coconuts because that is suitable as per that climate. Okay, then when you go more inside, okay, you will find oranges, for example. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Then when you go more inside, you'll find suppose rice. Okay, but अगर बीच में अगर mountain आ जाता है, ठीक है, if there is a mountain, for example Western Ghats, so there will be an elevation, and then you will find coffee plantation, tea plantation, because those plantations require elevated areas. Okay, so you see that as your geography is changing, as the terrain is changing, you also tend to find what the variety and diversity in your food crops and vegetation, even your flora and fauna. Okay, so the flora of the country is being studied by BSI, that is Botanical Survey of India, and its 9 circle field offices. So this is not very important कि उनका 9 circle offices भी है. All right. Next, so ethnobotanical study, okay, deals with the utilization of plants and plant products by ethnic races. Okay, a scientific study of such plants has been done by BSc. So this is not very important from exam perspective, but you can just give a reading. All right, but a thorough reading of this entire chapter is to know about the entire diversity of the country. All right, that is what you need to know, because this is very very important for you to make a diversified answer even in your mains, in whether it is the GS answer, okay, or whether it is your, for example, the SE. So you need to know about this diversity, and that is what this chapter gives you a lot of information about this. Okay, and this will also enhance your answer like anything. All right, next we are moving to the next paragraph, that is about like owing to destruction of forest. Now we also talk about the climate change and non-sustainable development because of the destruction of forest areas and agriculture and industrial areas. Okay, and development of like industrial and urban areas, we are actually losing a lot of species. A lot of species have gone extinct. Okay, and that is what we also get from the red data book. Okay, and this is brought out by Botanical Survey of India. So this is again very very important for your prelims exam, that in India who brings out the red data book and what is it related to. Okay, so it talks about the endangered plants. Okay, it talks about the endangered plants. So you should know about this, that the red data book published by Botanical Survey of India is actually talking about the endangered plants. All right, okay. So the next particular topic that we need to see is that, okay, there's a question, sir, does coconut grow due to saline water? I'm not very sure, but obviously it cannot be the salinity which will help you. It will be the climate and the humid. Okay, because we don't have saline water here. Okay, but we still have coconut trees here in Assam. Okay, so definitely there may not be a direct linkage between salinity of the water and coconut. Okay, but you can find it out. But I am not very sure about this. Okay, in my knowledge, I'm not very sure about this. All right, so let's move ahead with the faunal resources. And faunal means, you know, the Zoological Survey of India, okay, and which is under Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, okay. And in fact, Zoological Survey of India is also having the headquarters at Kolkata. Okay, so you need to know this, and it will be responsible to look after all the animals and the different species. And you can give a reading of this paragraph, not very much important from exam perspective. All right, but if I tell you, you need to see this, that there are various wildlife protection acts, and sometimes in exam, in fact, this years come, that when was this Wildlife Protection Act uh, okay, like past, or it has been, because this type of questions have already come, like important acts and their implementation here, okay, or from which year it has come to an effect, or during which 5-year plan it has been there. Okay, so it will be your 1972. Then we also have various important acts like Environment Protection Act of 1986. Okay, then there is also Water Protection Act, I think that is of 1980. Okay, then yes, there are total 6 schedules under this Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, and under that we keep a lot of animals. Okay, and accordingly they get the protection as per the on which schedule they are into. Okay, and then we have a Biodiversity Act also of 2002. So you should remember these years. Okay, sometimes they might just ask you the chronological order of this acts coming. All right. Then again, obviously we have different climatic zones like deciduous forest, okay, humid forest, semi deserts, and accordingly your and accordingly this your will also change your the variety of the species that we'll find. All right, so after this, if we talk about the other, like the Indian landmass has been classified into 10 biogeographic zones, or JSI, documented the faunal resources. Okay, so JSI is mainly responsible to find out the different species. Okay, and in order to protect the biodiversity, there are various protected areas. Now you don't have to remember these figures. Okay, not very important. Okay, and protected areas in in the field of like national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, reserve forests, and protected areas. All right, so you can talk about this. And after that, if you see here, for example, there are various species. Now all this we can talk in details in environment class. Okay, and we also have a IUCN red list, okay, which talks about the various categories of the species and their status, whether they are critically extinct, or for example whether they are vulnerable, or they are like at what state. Okay, so IUCN is also producing this type of red list. Then moving ahead, for effective conservation, again we know that there are various Ramsar sites for protection of wetland. Okay, Ramsar is a city in Iran. Okay, and how many Ramsar sites are there in India as of now? Can you tell me how many Ramsar sites in India as of now total? Okay, then please comment in the comment box. Okay, there's a question: red data book only for plant or animal also? I think it is for both. Okay, it is for both. Yes, Farhaz, you are saying 42, right? Because recently, I think in the month of January, okay, the number of wetlands have been increased, and now we have, earlier we had around 25, 26 wetland protected areas, but now we have almost around 42, I think, but I will have to check that. Okay, but I think it is 42, because there were around 10 to 12 wetland areas which were increased in terms of numbers. Okay, and we also need to know some of the important wetland names, okay, that has been recently declared, because in fact you might even get a question from there. Okay, so I request all of you to go through the recent wetlands, okay, that have been declared under the Ramsar sites. All right. Okay. All right. Moving ahead. Again, they have also mentioned how many species are there in which national park and biosphere reserves. Now we'll not read this from here. We will cover this, okay, in all our environment classes. Okay. Ramsar. Okay, 42 is the answer. 6 new. No, there are more new. Okay. We have not one in Northeast. We have your Deepavali is obviously there. Then we have Rudra Sagar Lake in Tripura. Okay, then we have Kabul Lamjau National Park. We have this lake in Manipur. Okay, Loktak Lake. Even these lakes are also there under your Ramsar wetland sites. All right. So it is presumed that India's faunal diversity may exceed many folds, as several least studied unknown invertebrates are yet to be explored. Okay. So you can see here that we have this many number of species in everything. All right. Then comes your demographic background. Okay. Then comes your demographic background, which talks about the census in India. And obviously, when we talk about census, we see the diversity in our demography, culture, and economic structure also. Okay. So here, for example, if we talk about the population, okay, if we talk about the population, so you can see here that the population of India stood at 1210.9 million, okay, as of 2011. But I think it has been increased now much more. Okay, it is around 137 somewhere, okay, 137 crores, okay, and it will be coming out after 2021 census. Then you can go through some of the figures, like there's a huge diversity in terms of rural population and then urban population. Okay, then it also talks about population density. Okay, one of the most important indices of population concentration, and now the present, like it is as per 2011, it is 382. You need to remember this figure. Okay, can you tell me what is the density of Assam as per 2011? This can be asked in your exam. Okay, then with a decadal rate of, this is also like decadal growth rate, okay, that in a year what is the percentage growth rate of population, this 17.7. This can be also asked in your exam. Okay, so you see this. And then among the biggest states, Bihar was the most thickly populated state with a population density of 1106 per square kilometer. Okay, but if I tell you like overall, Delhi is actually the largest in terms of population density. But since it is not a state, so state-wise Bihar will be the highest. But overall Delhi, because Delhi's population density is somewhere around 11,000 something. Okay, okay, it is 398 per square kilometer. Good, everyone, those who have answered. So that can also come in the exam. What is the population density of Assam? Okay, but population density highest, if we talk about, it is Delhi, but state-wise it will be Bihar. All right, and Delhi's population density is 11,200 something. I am not very sure about this figure, but it is more than 11,000. You can just imagine how crowded Delhi is. Okay, then it is West Bengal, then Kerala, and so on. All right, and okay, it is mentioned here already. The Delhi is having the highest in terms of 11,320 per square kilometer. Can you imagine this? Okay, and then followed by Chandigarh is also having a very very high the population density, and that is your 9,258 persons per square kilometer. Okay, then you can talk about the sex ratio. Again, we know that India's sex ratio, like the major challenge that we are facing right now is that the child sex ratio, okay, because it was declining in a particular time period. Okay, that if you see here that in 1901 it was 972, that means per thousand males how many females are there. Okay, and that also depicts about, that also talks about our societal values. So it was 972 in 1901, then thereafter showed a continuous decline until 1941, okay, which reached 945. The sex ratio has been improved, okay, from 1933 in 2001 to 1940, 943 in 2011. However, okay, so there is a positive sign that the sex ratios improved, okay, from 2001 to 2011. But however, the child sex ratio defined as a number of girls, okay, per thousand boys aged 0 to 6 years has deteriorated from 927 to 919. This is a very very pathetic situation, because this is going to be highlighted in the upcoming time period, that is in the future. Okay, and our child sex ratio is decreasing, so in the upcoming time period our sex ratio will actually decline further. Okay, that is, though it has improved to 943, the present sex ratio, that is of 2011, from 933, 10 units it has increased in 10 years, but actually our child sex ratio has declined in the same time period. So in the future time period our sex ratio will actually decline. So this is something to of a grave concern. Okay, so please try to remember the sex ratio, and please also tell me the sex ratio of Assam if you know. Okay, please tell me in the comment section. Then the literacy part, okay, if you see that as per 2011 census, the literacy rate of India is 73%. All these type of questions do come in the exam. Okay, males it is higher, 80.9, and for females it is 64.6. Okay, all right, very good, 958 for Assam. So it is for Assam the sex ratio is better than the national average, which is 943. Okay, so now next tell me the literacy rate of Assam. Okay, tell me the literacy rate of Assam. For India it is 73%, for male it is 80.9%, and for female it is 64.6%. Okay, an increase from 64.8% in 2001. Kerala again, It is the topmost with 94%, okay, and followed by Lakshadweep, and Bihar with a literacy of 61.8% only was the lowest in the country. All right, tell me the literacy rate of Assam. It is 72.19. All right, so it is less than the national average. Okay, please see that, but it is better than Bihar and some other countries. Bihar is the lowest with literacy rate. All right, what is 85.03, Krishnamoni? All right, so then we can talk about the migration. Okay, what is 85.3? Can you please elaborate in the comment section? Okay, we need to look at the migration. Because of migration also there is change in the demography. Okay, there is change in the demography. All right, okay, so migration is one of the most important indicators of democracy. Okay, okay, it is whether it is male or what. Okay, migration is one of the most important indicators of demography. We know that, and people migrate from one place to another. Now, there are various types of migration happening in India. Okay, if I tell you there is a type of rural to rural migration, okay, then there is rural to urban migration. Then there is urban to rural migration, and from urban to urban. Okay, all right. So, can you tell me out of these four types of migration, which is highest in India? Okay, which is highest in India? Okay, can you please tell me which is highest, which type of migration is highest in India? Rural to rural, rural to urban, okay, then urban to rural, and urban to urban. Okay, so please tell me which is the highest type of migration in India. All right, next we can talk about the fertility and the mortality rates. These are also very important. Okay, okay, Jakes, no, I'm not able to recognize you. Can you please tell me your name? Jakes, no, what is your name? Rural to urban, rural to urban. Everyone is talking about rural to urban. No, you're wrong. Okay, no, it is not urban to urban, Rakhi. Your answer is actually rural to rural. Okay, okay, Himanshu. So it is your rural to rural, and it is about the actually in village to village migration, and mainly it talks about your the migration done by the females after marriage. Okay, the females after marriage, when they migrate from their own house to the house of their husband. Okay, that is what is actually the highest form of migration in India. Okay, and then fertility and mortality rate, again you can see that what is the fertility rate. It depicts the population growth rate also. Okay, and total fertility rate of about 2.1 children. Okay, you can see here the total fertility rate of a population is the average number of children that would be born to a woman. Okay, average number of children that can be born to a woman and over her lifetime if she were subjected to a prevailing rate of age specific fertility. Okay, so a TFR of about 2.1 children per woman is called replacement level fertility. मतलब अभी जितना population है, अगर उसी को constant रखना है, replace करना है, तो average fertility rate should be 2.1. All right, then from a TFR of 2.6 in 2008 to 2.2 in 2018, India has gradually moved towards achieving the replacement level of fertility, and this is something good. Okay, this is something good because we are in a direction to control population, because that is a very very important factor where we need to control population, and in Assam it is 1.9. All right. Okay, so I'm not sure what you're talking about sustainable development, because recently the Niti Aayog has released the reports. I can take a special class on those facts. Okay, so let's not get confused right now. Then we can talk about the crude birth rate. Okay, what is sometimes see in exam they might even ask you what is the total fertility rate. Okay, in prelims they might give you a question on total fertility rate. Okay, what is the total fertility rate of Assam, for example, if it is asked. Okay, or what is the total fertility rate, like what is the total replacement level fertility. Okay, it will, your answer will be 2.1, so you need to know that. Okay, and in India it is around 2.2 in 2018. Then what is a crude birth rate? You should also know this. It is talking about a measure of birth rates and is defined as a total number of live births in a year divided by total mid-year population and multiplied by 1,000. So you need to know this formula. Sometimes in prelims they might simply ask you this question, okay, that about the crude birth rate. So it talks about what? It is the birth rate, okay, and it is defined as the total number of live births कि उस साल कितने births हुआ and divided by total. And also please see the word live births, okay, because there are also babies who gets the birth like after they're dead, okay, they're dead babies, okay, so we're not considering them, we are only considering the live births in a year, and total be divided by total mid-year population into, okay, 1,000, okay. So this is the crude birth rate, and it is expressed, to express it per 1,000 population, CBR in India has reached to 20, okay, per 1,000 population in 2018. That means per 1,000 population there are 20 babies getting born. And crude death rate also similarly is a measure of mortality rates and is defined as the total number of deaths in a year divided by total mid-year population and multiplied by 1,000. All right, and you can see here that it is around 6.2 in 2018. Okay, so after that we can talk about the infant mortality rate, and infant mortality rate is an important indicator of demography. It also talks about the society's developmental factors. All right, and as the number of deaths in a year per 1,000 live births of children under 1 year of age. So please see this, okay, because when we talk about children, okay, for example today when I was talking about the uh, uh, polity class, there we talk about, for example, early childhood care, okay. Now there it is considering from 0 to 6 years, okay, early childhood care, it is considering 0 to 6 years. But when we are talking about infant mortality rate, it is considering 0 to 1 year only, okay. So please do not get confused. And 0 to 1 year, okay, of children who dies, but at the same time of 1,000 live births, okay, how many children are dying, that is your infant mortality rate, okay. And okay, and after that, uh, like as of 2008 it was 53 and 32 in 2018. You can see these figures, okay. So it has quite improved. In 2018 we have only 32 babies dying out of 1,000 live births. All the demographic measures described above are produced by the Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India, okay. So you can check this out. So this is what we had with chapter 1 in completion, and you saw that this chapter was quite important from your exam perspective, for both prelims as well as mains. We got a couple of facts and figures which can be asked in the exam, in the prelims exam, okay. At the same time we also saw some important dimensions which can be taken help, okay, in order to write the answers in mains, okay. So after that what we need to cover up is your chapter number 2, that is your national symbols, okay. Now this is not a very long chapter, okay. If you see, there are hardly 2 or 3 pages, okay, there are hardly 2 or 3 pages, and I think we can complete this chapter right now. What do you say? You want to complete it now or you want to do it tomorrow? Please let me know. Okay, there's a mixed response from everyone. Some people are saying now, some people are saying tomorrow. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm getting more yes, okay, but Himanshu is trying to level it, he is trying to neutralize it by repeatedly saying that he wants to do it tomorrow. Okay, all right. Sahira, you have been attending I have been taking. There's a difference. Anyways, we will do it now. Okay, we'll do it now. It will not take much time. It's 12:40. We can wrap it up by 1 o'clock. Okay, please try to bear it. And if someone wants to do it tomorrow, you can. It will be obviously available in the YouTube channel. Okay, it will be available in the YouTube channel. So you can also check it later on if you are feeling. If anyone is feeling sleepy, if anyone is tired. Okay, if anyone is sleepy, if you're tired, you can check it out tomorrow, okay, later on also, because it will be available in the YouTube. You just mark the time period. Okay, you just mark the time period. It is I What is the time that we have covered till now? Is it available on your side? I'm not sure where I can check it here. Okay, you just mark the time. I think it is okay, we had started at 11, right? So it should be around 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 35 minutes. Okay, so you just check the video from there for the next chapter. So let's begin with chapter 2. It talks about the national symbols, and the first national symbol we are discussing about is your national flag. Okay, and national flag shall be a tricolor panel. We all know it. Okay, made up of three rectangular panels. So I'm going fast because it is a very common sense. All of you know about it. Okay, wherever we find it a bit difficult, I'll go slow. Okay, so the color of the top panel is India saffron kesari. Okay, it is India saffron kesari. The top panel will know it, and the bottom panel is the green. The middle panel shall be white. All right, bearing at its center the design of Ashok Chakra, very important. Okay, very important Ashok Chakra. Okay, Ashoka's Chakra, and in it is in navy blue color. Okay, please try to see the color. It is navy blue. It might देखो कभी कभी पूछ सकता है, ये भी पूछ सकता है in your exam. And how many spokes it is having? 24 equally spaced spokes. The Ashok Chakra shall preferably be screen printed or otherwise printed on stenciled or suitably embroidered, and shall be completely visible on both sides of the flag. This is a very important fact. Okay, that the Ashok Chakra should be visible from both the sides of the flag in the center of the white panel. The national flag shall be rectangular in shape. Okay, it is rectangular in shape. You all know it. And what is the ratio of the length to the height? It is 3:2. Okay, and the design of the national flag was adopted by Constituent Assembly. Very important date. Very important date. Okay, you try to see that this design was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on July 22nd, 1947. All right, this is very important date. You need to see this. Okay, July 22nd, 1947. All right. Apart from non-statutory instructions issued by government from time to time, display of national flag is governed by provisions of there's an act. Okay, this is a statutory act, emblems and names, prevention of improper use of act of 1950. Okay, and the prevention of insults to national honor act of 1971. We also have these two acts. And then the flag code of India 2002 is an attempt to bring together all such laws, conventions, practices, and instructions for the guidance of all concerned. Okay, and sometimes way back there was an issue with the national anthem to be sung in the your movie halls or cinema halls. Okay, so during that time period these topics become very important. Anyways, it can be asked. Okay, and in fact you might be asked a particular question that national flag, its provisions and its instructions are dealt by which of the following. Okay, which of the following uh, like acts or instructions. Okay, so your answer will be like, in fact this one, emblems and names will also be there, prevention of insults to national honor act will be also there, and obviously flag code will be there. And in which year did this come up? The flag code of 2002. Okay, please try to remember this date. Effective from 26 January 2002, superseded the flag code India as it existed. Okay, as per the provisions of the flag code of India 2002, there is no restriction on the display of the national flag by members of general public, private organizations, educational institutions, except to the extent provided by the emblems and names. ठीक है, तो इसके अंदर जो भी exceptions है, except that there is no restriction for the general public or the private organizations or educational institutions to display the national flag of a country. Okay, and as per this 2x, whatever the restrictions are there. Okay, and this is the national flag, a very beautiful one. You can see it, the saffron color, the green, the white, and this is the Ashok Chakra with 24 spoke wheels all equally spaced. Okay, all the space between these two spokes are equally spaced. Again, this is the navy color. This is the ratio of 3:2, and the Ashok chakra should be visible from both the sides. Okay, so this is the description. Then we have our state emblem. Okay, the state emblem of India is an adaptation of the lion capital of Ashok at Sarnath. This we normally discuss in ancient history. Okay, we know about the Ashokan pillar at Sarnath. Okay, and also Sarnath is very important because that was the first place where uh, the Buddha gave his first sermon. Okay, and there we have the lion capital of Ashoka. And in original, the lion capital has four lions mounted back to back on a circular abacus. Okay, I had discussed this with some of my students while discussing the art and culture lecture. Okay, it is also available in our app. And the four lions which are mounted on a circular abacus, you should know this. Okay, and the frieze of the abacus is adorned with sculptures in high relief. Okay, there are certain animals, and you need to know this. What are the animals present in the lion capital? Okay, and there is an elephant, there is a galloping horse, there is a bull, and a lion separated by intervening dharma chakras. Okay, so in between these animals there are these dharma chakras. Okay, because it is a circular abacus. Okay, so you need to know this part. The profile of lion capital showing three lions mounted on the abacus with a dharma chakra in the center, a bull on the right, and a galloping horse on the left, and outlines of dharma chakras on the extreme right and left are adopted as state emblem of India. Okay, so when this was adopted, January 26, 1950. But when was this one adopted? The national flag, July 22nd, 1947. Okay, where is it? This date, July 22nd, 1947. So national flag was adopted prior to the adoption of national anthem. So you should be knowing this. Okay, January 26, 1950. And this date is also known as our Republic Day. From this date only our Republic Day has been celebrated. All right, because, and why this date was selected? Again, because of the declaration of Purna Swaraj, okay, in 1930 by young leaders of then Congress like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, when they hoisted the national flag on the bank of River Ravi. All right. Now, here it is very important for you to take this part. Okay, that though the lion capital had four animals, okay, but our national emblem, okay, this is our national emblem, you can see this, it is not having all the four lines. First of all, the backside line is not visible in the national emblem. Okay, and in fact we also do not have all the four animals here. Okay, we only have two animals, one chakra, and on the two extreme side we have the border areas of the chakras. Okay, so you see here that this is very important. Sometimes in fact this can be also asked in the exam. I'll tell you 2017 UPSC prelims had picked up a question from this very chapter itself. Okay, we'll see that now. So the profile of the lion capital showing three lines. Okay, तो इसमें क्या है, एम्बलम में तीन लाइन है, एक लाइन नहीं है पीछे वाला यहाँ पे. ठीक है, and with a dharma chakra in the center, a bull on the right and a galloping horse on the left. So you can see here that there is a bull on the right and this is a galloping horse on the left. Okay, ठीक है, तो आप इसको अच्छे से देखो, बुल है और लायन है. ऑलराइट, लेकिन जो ओरिजिनल लायन कैपिटल है, ओके, जो ओरिजिनल लायन कैपिटल है, इफ यू सी हियर, इसमें एलिफेंट भी एक था. ठीक है, और एक आपका lion भी था. Okay, so this elephant and this lion is missing in the state emblem. Okay, in the state emblem this is only present in the lion capital. So please be very specific कि state emblem में कौन से animals present है. ऑप्शन में चारों दे देगा और एक ऑप्शन all of the above रहेगा, but that would be wrong. तो out of excitement please do not make any mistakes like this. Okay, उसमें आंसर सिर्फ दो होगा आपका, horse on the left and bull on the right. Okay, and one dharma chakra in between, and like two and on the extreme end there will be the borders of the spoke wheels of the dharma chakra, these two. All right, so please, so I hope now it is clear with all of you about the national emblem also. Okay, how many animals are there in the lion capital? Four. But in the state emblem, national emblem, we have two at the abacus. This is the abacus. Okay, this is the abacus, and where the three lions are present. Okay, with one bull on the right side and one galloping horse on the left hand side. All right, the next we need to discuss about the national anthem, and we all know that our national anthem is the Jan Gan Man, composed originally in Bangla. Okay, by who composed it? we all know it, Rabindranath Tagore, and it was adopted in Hindi version by the Constituent Assembly. Again, you see this date, very important, 24th January 1950. So if it is asked, and this question was already asked in APSC prelims, okay, this question was already there in APSC prelims, okay. And what if it is asked to arrange in a chronological order, which was adopted earlier and which was adopted later? So first it was your national national flag, 22nd July 1947. Then it is your national anthem, okay, 24th January 1915. After 2 days we have our national emblem, which was adopted, okay, by the Constituent Assembly. But the national anthem was first sung, even this date is important. In fact, this has been also asked in APSC prelims, already asked in APSC prelims. When was it first sung? It was sung on December 27th. Okay, it was sung on December. Yes, national song and national anthem has been adopted on the same day. Okay, that is 24th of January 1950. And it was first sung on December 27, 1911 at the Calcutta session of Indian National Congress. Okay, please try to remember this. And the complete song consists of 5 stanzas. The first stanza contains a full version of the national anthem. All right, so you all know this, and will not sing this now, otherwise we'll have to stand up, or else you can just go through it. Then a playing time of the full version of national anthem, this is very important, this can be asked in the exam, okay, 52 seconds. And a short version consisting of the first and the last lines of the national anthem, playing time approximately 20 seconds, okay. So it is also played on certain occasions. The following is Tagore's English rendering on the anthem. So it is a English translation, you can go through it. Okay, so what is the average approximate time period for the full version of national anthem? For the playing of the full version, it is 52 seconds. All right, then we have the national song. Okay, we have the national song, again, is a very, very important one. And the national song, that is our Vande Mataram, was composed in initially Sanskrit by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Okay, and it was a source of inspiration to the people in their struggle for freedom. Okay, Vande Mataram. And it has an equal status with Jan Gan Man. And the first political occasion when it was sung was in 1896 session of Indian National Congress. Please find out where was this session conducted, on which city. Okay, 1896, where was this city? Because you need to know that. Okay, 1911 it was held there in Calcutta. And please try to find out 1896 session was held in which city. Okay, and after that it was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Okay, and during 1896 session it was first sung. Okay, and it was obviously sung by Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, and then we have this entire song, and the English translation was rendered by Shri Aurobindo. Okay, and it is also there written, you can go through it once. And then next we have the national calendar. Okay, we have the national calendar, and the national calendar based on the Saka era. Okay, so please try to remember that our national calendar is based on which era. There are various types of eras. Okay, so it, in fact, that can be also be a question in the exam. And with Chaitra as its first month, so please see this, it is very, very important that as per the Saka era, okay, the yes, it is 78 AD. Okay, and we'll not go into the historical perspective in details right now. Yes, Kanishka was the ruler, and we can see that in our ancient history classes. Okay, the 78 AD, and this is used for our national calendar, and this can be asked in your exam. A normal year of 365 days was adopted from March 22nd, 1957 along. Okay, so this is the last one. Okay, in fact, I thought also that the 1896 session was in Calcutta. Okay, I was not very sure, but I was thinking about Calcutta only. Okay, so please try to remember this, both are in Calcutta. Okay, thank you, Sanjukta. Then this national calendar. Okay, thank you, Hirak. Thank you, Raki. Thank you, Himanshu, Rishika. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so this national calendar is based on the Saka era, 78 AD. Chaitra is the first month, and there are 365 days, we all know. But when was it adopted? You see that it was adopted quite late after independence, March 22nd. So this will be the last one, 1957. Okay, and with the, thank you, Rishika, and with the Gregorian calendar for the following official purposes. Okay, for the Gadget of India. So we use the Gregorian calendar for this Gadget of India, news broadcast, calendars issued by government and government communications. Okay, and dates of national calendar have a permanent correspondence with dates of Gregorian calendar. It is first date of Chaitra falling on March 22nd normally and March 21 in leap year. All right, so you see this, that these are some of the important dimensions. Okay, and there is also a political map of India given in this first chapter. Okay, and you need to go through it. All right. Okay. I think there is one missing part which I had found it in previous versions of India Yearbook, and it talked about the Satyamev Jayate, okay, which was taken from which Upanishad, and that had come in the prelims exam, and it has been removed from this part. Okay, the Satyamev Jayate, did you find it in your version? Is Satyamev Jayate present? Yes, it is from Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, it is from Mundaka Upanishad, but in the earlier versions of India Your Book, it was also present in this second chapter, which had already come in UPSC prelims, but I can't find it here as of now. Okay, so anyways, you should know about it. It can be asked in APSC prelims also because it has been already asked in UPSC prelims. Okay, and Mundaka Upanishad, again, this Satyamajate was written in a Devanagari script. Okay, you should know that it was written in the Devanagari script. Mundaka Upanishad, the Satyamev Jayate has been taken from that. All right, and Satyamev Jayate in English means truth alone triumphs. Okay, truth alone triumphs. That means it is the victory of the truth. Okay, and with that, we have come to an end with today's session. I thank you all for staying till the last, and I hope your preparation is going good, and please study hard now. Try to study for 12, 14 hours on a daily basis from now on for the next 4, 5 months. You can definitely crack it within this year or within this attempt itself. Okay, whosoever is preparing for this year. And those who are appearing for UPSC, it is on 10th of October. Okay, it will be held on 10th of October. And if you have filled up the form, please prepare hard. You have even time left in which you can crack this exam. Okay, more than 3 months. Try to solve as many MCQs you can. Okay. Himangsu, in the description box, you can find the WhatsApp link. Okay, you can join that. You can also find the link of the apps. You can join the WhatsApp groups and you'll get the free study materials there and the notifications. And do subscribe our channel, and also do share it with your friends, okay, about the live classes. Do spread the word to everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. My pleasure. Welcome to all. And please do rate us in Google and Play Store and Apple Store. It will really motivate us. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Good night and take care.